If you're over 60, there's a silent number working against you right now, 1 to 2%. That's how much muscle and bone strength your body quietly loses every single year after 60. It doesn't sound like much until one morning you realize climbing the stairs feels like hiking a mountain or standing from the couch makes your knees tremble. And here's the real shock: by the time most Americans reach their 70s, they've lost nearly 1/3 of their natural strength. That's the difference between walking on your own and depending on someone else's arm. But what if I told you this decline isn't destiny? What if just 15 minutes a day with weights lighter than your grocery bags could trigger a biological comeback that rewires your brain, strengthens your heart, and rebuilds your balance from the ground up? It sounds unbelievable, but the science is now undeniable. Every year, thousands of seniors across the U.S. quietly prove it. They move better, think sharper, and age slower, simply because they discovered the one habit doctors once underestimated: lifting light weights the right way. So before you give in to the idea that getting older means getting weaker, stay with me. Because in the next few minutes, you'll see exactly what really happens inside your body once you start lifting, and why it may be the most powerful anti-aging tool no pill can match. But to understand how something so simple can turn back years of decline, we need to see what aging truly does beneath the surface. The quiet changes that start in your muscles, your bones, and even your mind long before you notice them. Most people think aging is just about wrinkles or gray hair, but you and I both know it's more than that. It's when your legs start feeling heavier than they used to, when your energy fades halfway through the day, when you hesitate before standing because your knees might not cooperate. It's not vanity, it's the quiet fear of losing control. That fear is real. Across the U.S., millions of adults over 60 admit they've stopped doing the things they love: walking the dog, traveling, even simple house chores, not because they've lost interest, but because they've lost confidence in their bodies. And that loss doesn't just steal movement, it steals independence, dignity, and joy. But here's the truth: few people talk about your body hasn't given up on you. It's simply waiting for the right signal to wake up again. And that signal isn't another pill, another supplement, or another empty promise from a late-night commercial. It's motion, it's strength, it's training your body to remember what it was built to do. Science now shows that even light resistance training, just 15 minutes a day, can restore lost muscle, protect your bones, improve your balance, and rewire your brain to think sharper. You don't need a gym. You don't need youth. You just need to start. So stay with me, because in this video, you'll discover exactly how lifting light weights can reverse years of decline, rebuild your confidence from the inside out, and give you something far more powerful than youth: the ability to age on your own terms. Aging doesn't knock on the door. It slips in quietly. One day you're moving just fine, and the next you feel a strange stiffness in your knees or a sudden lack of balance when you reach for something on the shelf. For most Americans over 60, these aren't random aches. They're warning signs that the body's renewal system is slowing down. After 60, muscle fibers shrink, mitochondria produce less energy, and your bones start losing density faster than they can rebuild. It's a slow erosion, barely noticeable at first, but over time it changes how you move, stand, and even think. Studies from the National Institute on Aging show that adults who stop resistance activity lose up to 30% of their strength by age 70. That's not just a statistic, that's the difference between catching yourself when you trip or hitting the ground. Your posture changes. Shoulders roll forward, steps get shorter, confidence fades. Even everyday tasks, carrying groceries, standing from a chair, tying your shoes, start feeling like small, uphill battles. And because these changes happen gradually, most people mistake them for normal aging. But in truth, they're signs of disuse, not destiny. The human body was built to adapt. When you stop challenging it, it stops responding. But when you reignite those dormant muscles even gently, something remarkable happens. Your body remembers how to grow strong again. And that memory doesn't just live in your arms or legs, it starts in your brain. Because when you begin lifting, your mind fires, first reconnecting neural pathways that aging tries to silence. In other words, the first muscle to wake up isn't in your body, it's in your mind. The first transformation doesn't happen in your muscles, it happens in your mind. When you start lifting light weights, your brain responds almost instantly. Each repetition sends signals through your nervous system, waking up neural pathways that may have gone quiet for years. This process boosts blood flow, oxygen and energy to your brain's most vital regions, the ones responsible for focus, balance, and memory. According to Harvard researchers, older adults who perform light resistance training just 3 times a week show measurable improvements in cognitive speed and reaction time. It's not about lifting heavy, it's about stimulating the connection between your body and your mind. Every controlled movement trains your brain to stay alert, coordinated, and confident. Have you ever noticed how your thoughts feel sharper after a short walk or gentle workout? That's not coincidence, it's chemistry. Lifting weights increases BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, often called fertilizer for your neurons. It helps protect brain cells from aging and even supports new cell growth. The result, sharper memory, better balance, and fewer senior moments. And perhaps the most powerful part isn't physical at all, it's emotional. Every time you lift, your brain releases dopamine and endorphins, restoring your motivation and lifting the mental fog that aging often brings. But if the brain is the first organ to wake up, the second is the one that holds you upright, through it all your bones. Because as you challenge your muscles, something deep inside your skeleton begins to respond, strengthening from within and giving your body the solid foundation it needs to keep moving freely. Every lift you make sends a message straight to your bones, a message that says, I still need you. And the body listens. When gentle pressure travels through your arms, hips, and legs during resistance training, it activates osteoblasts, the specialized cells responsible for rebuilding bone tissue. It's not about breaking limits. It's about reminding your skeleton to stay alive, dense, and strong. According to research from the National Institutes of Health, older adults who practice light resistance training just 3 days a week can increase bone density by up to 8–10% in 6 months. That may not sound dramatic, but in senior health, that's the difference between a stumble and a fracture between living independently or relying on a walker. Think of it like this. Every time you lift a weight, your bones receive a small, positive shock, a signal to grow stronger. Over time, those micro stresses turn into real protection, fortifying the spine, hips, and wrists, the most fragile zones after 60. It's nature's quiet insurance policy against osteoporosis. And beyond the numbers, there's something deeper happening: confidence. When your frame feels stable, your mind follows. You stand taller, move easier, and trust your body again. But what your bones feel, your heart soon mirrors. Because as your skeletal structure strengthens, your circulation opens up, your breathing deepens, and the rhythm of your heartbeat begins to change. It's the moment your body shifts from surviving to thriving, and your heart becomes the quiet engine driving that change. Your heart is more than a muscle. It's the rhythm that keeps everything else alive. When you begin lifting light weights, that rhythm starts to change in remarkable ways. Each slow, controlled movement trains your cardiovascular system to deliver oxygen more efficiently, reducing strain on your arteries and helping your blood vessels stay flexible. Over time, your resting heart rate lowers, your blood pressure steadies, and your endurance quietly returns. Scientists at the Mayo Clinic have found that seniors who add resistance training to their weekly routines experience a 15–20% improvement in circulation within just a few months. That means more oxygen to your brain, better temperature control, and even a calmer nervous system. You literally feel lighter, not just in your steps, but in your chest. And here's something worth remembering: every beat you strengthen now adds days, even years, to the quality of your future. A stronger heart doesn't just keep you alive, it keeps you independent, energized, and confident enough to live the life you want. And when your heart begins to beat stronger, that energy spreads outward, awakening the very fibers that move you through the world. Because what follows next is the most visible transformation of all your muscles, the engines of independence coming back to life, one repetition at a time. The most visible change happens right where aging tried to take the most your muscles. After 60, many people assume their shrinking strength is permanent, but it's not. The moment you start resistance training, even with light weights, your body flips a forgotten switch. Dormant muscle fibers, especially the fast twitch fibers that control power and stability, begin to wake up again. They soak in oxygen, absorb nutrients, and grow stronger with every small challenge you give them. Think of your muscles like sleeping engines. Each repetition is a gentle ignition, fueling them with energy and confidence. And the magic isn't in lifting heavy, it's in being consistent. Studies show that adults over 60 who perform light resistance training 3 times a week can increase lean muscle mass by up to 5% in just 12 weeks. That small gain can transform your daily life easier, stairs, steadier balance, and renewed independence. Take Maria, a 63-year-old retired teacher. She started by lifting soup cans in her kitchen 15 minutes a day. 3 months later, she could stand from a chair without pushing off the armrest. Her legs, once shaky, felt alive again. That's not a miracle, that's biology doing what it's designed to do. When you rebuild muscle, you're not just fighting time. You're teaching your body to adapt. And with every small session, your metabolism wakes up, your joints align better, and your body starts producing more natural growth hormones, your own built-in anti-aging system. But strength isn't just about muscle, it's about balance, recovery, and energy. Because once your body remembers how to move, it starts managing sugar, sleep, and fatigue differently. And that's when another quiet transformation begins inside your blood and your rest, where true healing takes place. When your muscles start working again, your blood chemistry follows. Every lift, every small repetition acts like a signal to your body: use the fuel, don't store it. That's why resistance training plays a vital role in lowering blood sugar and improving insulin sensitivity after 60. Your muscles act like sponges, pulling glucose from the bloodstream and using it for energy instead of letting it linger and turn into fat. Researchers from the American Diabetes Association found that seniors who perform consistent light resistance training improved insulin sensitivity by nearly 25% in just 3 months. That's more effective than most diets alone. But it's not just about numbers, it's about how you feel. As your body learns to balance energy better, you stop experiencing those afternoon crashes, the brain fog fades, and your mood stabilizes. Then comes the hidden gift: better sleep. When blood sugar is steady and muscles are active, your body produces more melatonin naturally. You fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up truly rested. Many seniors say, "It's the first time in years I wake up without pain or fatigue." Your metabolism doesn't slow because you age, it slows because you stop moving. Once you reignite it, your body remembers how to restore balance, one peaceful night at a time. And when your body finally rests the way it was meant to, something beautiful happens: your confidence returns. Because the next transformation isn't just physical, it's emotional. It's the quiet shift from surviving the day to feeling alive again, from being careful to being capable. Something powerful happens when your body starts to move with strength. Again, your confidence comes back. It's not just the muscle or the balance, it's the feeling of control. For many Americans over 60, that control is what aging quietly steals first. But when you lift even lightly, you take it back. Every rep whispers a simple truth: you're not done yet. As dopamine and endorphins rise, your mood changes. You smile more, stand taller, and feel a spark of energy that had been missing for years. The mirror no longer reflects decline, it reflects capability. You start saying yes again: yes to walks, yes to travel, yes to living without hesitation. This isn't vanity, it's vitality. Doctors call it psychological momentum, but it's more than science. It's freedom. You realize that age doesn't define you, attitude does. But freedom needs to be guided by wisdom. Because as your energy rises, it's easy to overdo it. And here's where knowledge protects you. Understanding how to train smart, not just hard, is the difference between progress and pain, between rebuilding and breaking down. So let's talk about safety science in the smart way forward. Strength doesn't come from pushing harder, it comes from training smarter. For seniors, that means respecting your limits while still challenging your body. The truth is, light weights done correctly can trigger the same muscle and bone response as heavier loads with far less risk. It's not about ego or intensity, it's about form, rhythm, and consistency. Experts from the American College of Sports Medicine recommend starting with weights between 2 and 5 pounds, focusing on controlled movements and breathing through each lift. Never hold your breath, it spikes blood pressure. Never rush, it breaks your form. The goal isn't to exhaust your muscles, but to awaken them. And here's what most people forget. Hydration and recovery are as important as the workout itself. Muscles rebuild while you rest, not while you lift. Even a single rest day can make the difference between steady progress and burnout. When you train this way, slow, mindful, and consistent, you don't just avoid injuries. You extend your ability to move freely for years. That's not just safe training, that's sustainable independence. Because once you understand how to move safely, every repetition becomes an act of confidence, not caution. You stop fighting against age and start working with it. And that's where this journey leads to a stronger, steadier, and more hopeful version of you, the person who doesn't just grow older, but grows better. Light weights may look small, but their impact is enormous. They rebuild what time has tried to take your strength, your stability, and your confidence. They're not just tools for fitness. They're symbols of independence, of waking up each morning, knowing your body still listens when you ask it to move. When you lift even for just 15 minutes a day, you're not chasing youth. You're choosing longevity. You're teaching your heart to stay strong, your bones to stay solid, and your spirit to stay alive. Every rep is a quiet rebellion against decline, a reminder that growing older doesn't mean growing weaker. It means growing wiser, tougher, and more resilient. So here's your challenge. Start small, start today, and don't stop. Pick up something, a dumbbell, a water bottle, even your own determination, and take back the control age tried to steal. Your future self will thank you every single day. And if this message inspired you, drop a comment below with your name and age. Tell us where you're watching from and how long you've been active. Let's build a community that proves senior health isn't about slowing down, it's about starting again. Because strength has no age, only a beginning. And if you're wondering where to begin, stay tuned. In our next video, we'll guide you through 5 beginner-friendly moves you can do safely at home. No gym required, no stress, just pure progress. Until then, remember your strongest days are still ahead.